chat for the hearts that sustain us. Bringing the love where the waves crash and scatter. Words form a bond and they endlessly chain us. Kindness that matters. Voices arise and the flow never falter. Building a space where the ties last forever. Chat is the place where respect doesn't alter, holding us clever. Grateful are we for the sparks that ignite us. Chat lifts us up, every voice brings its power. Threads of goodwill through the storms that unite us. Hope we devour. Here in this space, every heart finds its meaning. Words weave a net where the world feels much kinder. Chat is the pulse, every moment redeeming, binding reminder. Grateful are we for the sparks that ignite us. Chat lifts us up, every voice brings its power. Threads of goodwill through the storms that unite us. Hope we devour. Quiet nights and the storms full of thunder, chat holds the light, every word a new tether. Strength in the love that connects us, no sunder, lifting together. Hats off to chat for the joy in your giving. Every kind soul brings a world that feels brighter. May these connections endure while we're living, bond growing tighter. Hats off to chat for the joy in your giving. Every kind soul brings a world that feels brighter. May these connections endure while we're living, bond growing tighter. To chat for the hearts that sustain us. Bringing the love where the waves crash and scatter. Words form a bond and they endlessly chain us. Kindness that matters. Voices arise and the flow never falter. Building a space where the ties last forever. Chat is the place where respect doesn't alter, holding us clever. Grateful are we for the sparks that ignite us. Chat lifts us up, every voice brings its power. Threads of goodwill through the storms that unite us. Hope we devour.
Oh, that's hilarious. I was so busy listening to the music that I didn't realize that the countdown had ended. It's supposed to automatically switch over when the countdown ends, and it didn't do that today. Let's see how this music does for us in the background. Y'all keep me updated. Let me know. Lupita, you win first in award today. There it is, Lupita. Your first in award. Isn't it absolutely lovely? Cricket outdoing himself as always with the awards. Thank you for being here so early, Lupita. It's always lovely to see people arriving so early. How are you doing, Brian? You ready for a big week ahead? Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. You know the drill, right, Lupita? Send an email off to Cricket and he will get it to you. Brian, I think I owe you an email for an award that I have to figure out which one it was for. I'm on it. I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten. I've just been a little distracted. Guys, I have finally... Happy birthday, Brian. That is excellent. Sorry, I got to reach over here for something. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Everybody, tell Brian happy birthday. Did you turn 53 today for the first time? Chica, how are you, dear? It is so good to see you. How have you been? Everything's good, I hope, right? Oh, it's so good to see you, honey. Okay, Brian, that's good. It's good you're not too worried. Indigo, it is good to see you, dear. Lori, it's lovely to see you. Chica, it has been so long. Lori is singing. We will all sing together. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brian. Happy birthday to you. Sorry, something caught my eye over in the house. I hope that didn't hurt too much, Brian. But there you go, Brian. Happy birthday. I don't sing for just anybody, so. So how is everybody doing? Everybody had a chance to rest and recover, get some restorative everything. Restorative everything. Some restorative sleep, some community, some food. Oh, thank you, Indigo. Yeah, I love it's just a little sweat. It's just a little hoodie. but I really like it. You're welcome, Brian. Thank you, Indigo. That means a lot. I really don't sing very often. That's not true. I sing a lot. I don't sing in public very often. Oh, chica, te quiero back. Te quiero back. I'm sorry you can't stay, but it was really, really good to see you. Really good to see you. So, one of the ways, I mean, part of the reason, not one of the ways, part of the reason I was drawn to the Scientology community is because I have this really abiding interest in comparative religion. And that's on account of my religious background. I grew up basically the religious education curriculum was to study diversity of religion, to study comparative religion. That's what they did in my church growing up. So it's always been kind of a thing for me. And so I was having trouble coming up with ideas of what to do with you guys tonight. Sorry, I've got a soda hair in my lip gloss. Having trouble figuring out what to do with you guys tonight. And so I thought that there were a couple of different things we could do. First, I want to talk to you guys Oh, that's interesting, Brian. The stuff LRA tripped off from the Navy that got you interested? I can see that. I can see that. So, I wanted to kind of talk out an idea that I've been mulling around in my head over the last week or so. And then that's sort of tangentially related to comparative religion. And then for fun, Cricket sent me a list of flowers that are sacred to different religions. And I thought it might be interesting to take a look at all the different kinds of flowers that are sacred to different religions. So one of the things that I've tended to focus on with relation to Scientology is that it's a high control group. And that the problem is with high control groups. Yes, Indigo. Especially for a kitchen witch. Um, high control groups. One of the things that tends to happen with high control groups, people leave high control groups and then they get involved quickly into other high control groups. And that is because they are accustomed to high control behaviors. So they just go around from high control group to high control group because that's the culture they were raised in. And it is scary to go from a high control mindset to a not high control mindset. That is an adjustment that people need to make that requires more tolerance for ambiguity. There's a tolerance for ambiguity that people in high control groups have not mastered, right? And you see that come out in all sorts of ways. The intolerance for ambiguity is, I think, one of the very striking features one of the central features of a high control personality. So exactly, Cricket. You just replace one addiction, one coping mechanism with another coping mechanism, right? It's changing the behaviors that are difficult. And another thing that's been really interesting to me, so these are several different threads that I'll try and pull together at the end. And yes, Indigo, especially if you're a kitchen witch, rosemary can be used to purify spaces and is linked to remembrance and healing protection. Rosemary is a wonderful herb. Just a second, guys. So it's this tolerance for ambiguity that people have to learn to hold in order to come out of high control groups. And so you have people who are drawn to high control groups. Now, let's remember something, which is that high control groups are not by definition bad, right? There can be stable, productive, and contributing to society high control groups. The military is an excellent example. Now, look, I'll repeat what I've understood Mike Brown to say. Just a moment. Which is, it's not that the military doesn't do anything wrong, and it's not that there aren't assholes in the military, and that it's not that it's perfect. But there are policies in place. There are policies in place. And there are things you're supposed to be able to do. So there is a difference of degree, of level of high control, right? There's always a difference of degree. And what is the high control around? There is some attraction in high control groups. They so we have one person in this community who seems to behave and engender or exhibit the characteristics of a high control personality. Of a high control group leader. And my personal opinion is that we're living in an environment where there's a lot of high control groupness going on. It also occurred to me exactly, Indigo. Exactly. I've noticed over the last couple of weeks in the conversations that people have been having around the high control type, the individual who exhibits high control behaviors in our group. That people tried to come into this community early on when that person joined the community. Those people tried to come into this community and warn us about this person. And they got an unpleasant and uncooperative response. And I find that really interesting. Because that's what kind of a high control group leader does in this situation, is move from situation to situation. I mean, Elron did the same sort of thing, right? This didn't work, so he bugged out and went and did that, and that didn't work, so he bugged out and went and did this other thing. And he fought back when people came after him, trying to educate Sorry, I dropped that. I saw what Cricket was saying. The military approached you at 16, Scientology at 17. I tend to agree, Cricket, but I also think we'd be better off in this country if we had national service for 2 years after high school. Mandatory national service. Exactly that, Indigo. So I've heard people saying, why didn't you try to warn us? And I've heard people say, well, why weren't you listening? And I know that at least in part, all of that is absolutely true. And I know that I heard rumblings about these people and their concerns, but they were written off because there were political disagreements with these people. Yes, Indigo, they keep the groups separate from each other, often causing divides between the two sides. So here you go. You've got these folks coming into the community trying to warn the community, and the community refusing to say anything. So my concern is that's the same pattern you see with L. Ron Hubbard. That's the same pattern I see with other high control individuals. So where do we look above and beyond Scientology and start spreading awareness of high control tactics? So how this community member is not necessarily going anywhere. We don't know if they're staying or leaving. And if they are to leave the community, sorry guys, my computer is deciding that even though I'm streaming, it thinks that it's time to shut the monitors off. I'm not sure what that's about, but here we are. Exactly, Indigo. And so it's in educating individual people how to become more tolerant of ambiguity. And how do you do that when they don't want to be reached? How do you teach people? How do you reach them? How do we show them that they need to be taught? How do we make it real? Because these people that are prone to high control group tactics because they have a low tolerance for ambiguity, the only way to help that is to increase their tolerance for ambiguity. Okay, I'll wriggle my mouse sometimes. So fighting against Scientology is all well and good, but even within the Scientology fight, we've got somebody with high control behaviors and then high control behaviors get exhibited within a non-high control behavior group. So I'm not sure if I'm thinking a network, an association, a foundation, a school, public awareness campaign. But yes, Bill, you're not wrong. Yes, Indigo. I don't think you're wrong. I just think that it's a literacy thing. I think it's a literacy thing. I think it has to do with being, planting seeds. So that's the thing, Adam, is how do we best plant the seed? How do we best fertilize the soil? How do we, and is that is there a way? Probably not. I'm probably being way too idealistic at the moment. I know I'm known to do that. And I know you're right, Indigo. I'm not trying to save the world, but without a ladder, people don't know how to get out of it, right? Without a ladder, people don't know how to get out of it. Because they don't even know. I mean, how do you know that you have a low tolerance for ambiguity? I think, Indigo says, I think as evidenced by the Chicago protest inspiring the community to stand up, you have to network outside the org, and slowly over time that chips away and can plant seeds of doubt to make people think. Yeah, I think the Chicago org has done a great job at community outreach. I think the placement has really been key for that success. I think it's been to Scientology's it's been difficult for Scientology because of their location. I think it's made it easier for the community to organize against them. Navigating the space productively sometimes requires head in the heavens and feet on the ground at the same time. It is an extremely tricky balance. Bill, you are so eloquent, dear. It's absolutely right. We do what we're doing now. We talk about it publicly. There's no science to it, unfortunately. I mean, there is a little bit of science. And talking about it publicly is really important. Dusty, you're still at work? I know you had to cancel your live, honey. What's going on at work? Spring break at the airport in Florida? It's good for me to hear your perspective because mine is more narrow. I'm more likely to judge, at least outwardly. Well, that's interesting, Cricket, because I've never felt your judgment, but you meant the protesters. Yeah, that's what I mean. The protesters did a lot of work in the community. Right, and networked in the community. That's what I mean. The protesters did that work, but the location in the community that Scientology picked and tried to embed themselves into ended up backfiring on him. That's what I mean. Antics, sweetie, how are you? Okay, guys. We got a few things to talk about here for a second. Cricket has hit his watch hour requirement to be monetized, but he still needs subscribers. So I know all of you all are subscribed to Cricket, but please share his videos. Tell somebody you know to subscribe. We need to get him to his 1,000 subscribers. And Dusty also needs subscribers. And Antics needs subscribers. Lightning? My goodness. My goodness. That doesn't make it very good for the planes, does it, Dusty? I mean, y'all, the lightning. The lightning seemed a bit much. Orion. Can you guys hear him? Yes, share Cricket's videos, y'all. Excuse me for a moment, y'all. Persuasion is always kind of haphazard. Sometimes things have to collapse structurally. Yes, Adam, I know. I know. People seem to be very certain that something will work. Excuse me, I need to give this to the dog. You can't make people see the evidence. No, you can't. Okay, so we just keep talking about it. And talking about high control groups. With grassroots groups, you have to let the different factions fall where they may. Yes. Yes, Indigo. I agree with you. The dog, y'all. Does anybody want to see Orion? Let me see if he wants to come up here. Hold on just a second. Eric, sweetie, how are you? Let me get the dog, y'all. Come here. Not my pace. Say hi to everybody. No, look. No. Say hi to everybody. Yeah. Stop. Yeah, there's our Bobo. There's our baby. There's our sweetie. That's a good boy. Not my face. That's a good boy. You just pull off when there is lightning and then go back up. Orion, yes. Uranus, no. Okay, Antics, you're in rare form tonight, sweetie. He wants to lick all my foundation off. Indeed, he does, Indigo. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. What are you doing? Hmm? What are you doing? Yeah? Yeah. That's a good boy. You sent something for Brian? Okay. Hold on. You're a psychological Calvinist. Insight is mostly an unearned grace. You reach out to everybody while recognizing only the elect will respond. I can relate to that. Reaching out to everybody. Knowing only elect. Cookies? How's the music, Antics? Is the music okay? Let me know if I need to change it. I did not bring any cookies, although I forgot to tell y'all. Hey, come here. Excuse me for a moment. Cookies. Brain fog. Brain fog sent me the Betty Crocker cookie book, y'all. The Betty Crocker cookie book. Let me show you. Find you. So cookies. What's it showing, guys? Is it still showing Inception? No, it's still showing Inception. Okay. We will stop that. I can't share the Betty Crocker cookie book. Anyhow, the Betty Crocker cookie book is amazing, and I'm looking forward to cooking cookies with it. Lori, I'm sure he will explain if he hasn't already. I think it's important to allow for people to make mistakes, but if they repeat a pattern, hold them accountable. Yes. Yes. I like Mexican tea cakes. Yeah, I made it, Lori. I made it. Cookies, we understand. Hey, Fab Daddy, how are you? Good evening. Pistachio cookies with dark chocolate chips? That sounds lovely, Cricket. Sugar cookies and have them for dinner? Do you have to cook them first, Antics, or do you eat the dough? My got a phone call from one of my children whose partner was shocked they had made cookie dough just to eat cookie dough, and was that allowed? So, oh, I did have the book up for a moment. Okay, I'll try and show it again then. You didn't get any Christmas cookies, Antics? A Santa cookie would be lovely. Shortbread sounds. You accept all cookies? Psychological Calvinist, Adam. I like it. I have noticed that as well, Cricket. Oh, that's right, Antics. You were so sick over Christmas. Okay, here's the cookbook again, guys. We'll try it again. Okay, we're going to go Inception and then we'll go to the cookies. Okay, I think the cookies are up. Are the cookies up? No. How about now? Yep, it looks like you guys got it now. So that's the cookie book she sent me. It's not the first edition. So it's not the first edition. It's like the fourth edition or something. You used to make shortbread a lot. I like shortbread Antics. Shortbread crust for lemon bars. Pistachio, I don't think I've ever had a pistachio chocolate chip cookie. Lupita says, personally, I think people are capable of both good and bad. It's more about circumstance, choices, and personal growth. I believe in the potential for people to change and do good. Yes, Lupita, I agree with all of that. I think anybody can turn their life around and do different. MLH, hey, how you doing? It's good to see you. Hey, MLH. Oh, never mind. I'll get you. Russian tea cakes are the ones covered in powdered sugar. They're so good. They're so good. My kids make a brown butter chocolate chip cookie that is so amazing. Persimmon cookies. I've never heard of that either, Fab Daddy. Persimmon cookies. Yeah, how is the hot tub? Fab Daddy, MLH, how is hot tub? You're headed to the kitchen? Okay, tell us what you come back with, Antics. Tell us what you come back with. We definitely want to know. Okay. So moving on, unless anybody else has any comments they want to share, any more comments they want to share about the drama and discussing the drama and helping people walk away from the drama. Legitimate, yeah, that's thumbs up to Adam. Legitimacy occurs when people claim power unopposed. When a grifter wears a crown and call his followers a royal retinue, we have to persistently yell, "No kings." Good soak? Good, Fab Daddy. Yes, we do need to consistently, and persistently yell, "No kings." It appears we need to do that louder and louder. Quadratini wafers, are those little wafer cookies? Is that what those are, Cricket? I love those little wafer cookies. The ones I really love are the ones with a little bit of hazelnut and chocolate. Wafer rolled up into a tube. I love those. Number one rule, go to the source. If you hear something said about your friend, ask them yourself. Or number two, action over words. Look at what people do, not what they say. Yes. It's a store brand of cookies. Oh, Cricket. So what's everybody's favorite cookie? Let's hear it. Your favorite store-bought cookie. What's your favorite store-bought cookie? He pictured some Italian heavenly biscuits. Yeah, that's kind of what I did too. That's kind of what I did too. Here, lay down. No. Shortbread cookies. The Mr. Christie Pirate cookies. Fudge stripe with coconut. Girl Scout cookies. Mr. Chrissy. I like the Thin Mints, Girl Scout Thin Mints. He feels much better, and he is being his 3-year-old pugnacious self. He's been very excitable lately, and it is slightly annoying. Fudge stripe with coconut are good. I like that. Petite Ecolier dark chocolate butter cookies. Cricket, I love the Pim's dark chocolate wafers with orange. Pepperidge Farm Milano. I like the Brussels. Yes, he does, Adam. Yes, he does. Girl Scout cookies are a separate cookie. Yeah, you're probably right, Indigo. Ryan does think makeup is a food group. Fab Daddy, I love the Milanos, but the Brussels are so nice. They are a cookie. It's a rectangular cookie with shortbread with a whole piece of chocolate imprinted into the center of the shortbread. They're really tasty. They're really good cookies. They're really tasty cookies. Orion does think makeup is a food group. Although it might be easier. Pepperidge Farm remembers for you, huh, Adam? Guys, we watched the Amazon Prime adaptation of the Fallout game. Did anybody watch that? It's another example of a high control group. The Brussels are round and crispy. They're like round and crispy, 2 round and crispy wafers with chocolate in between, and they have orange chocolate ones, Adam, and I am a sucker for orange chocolate. They're really, really good. Chocolate oranges are the best. Sometimes they're on sale, Cricket. That's excellent. That's excellent. The Brussels are crispier than the Milanos. The Milanos are cakey and crispy, thick and crispy, and they crumble. And the Brussels are crack it in half crispy. You loved it, Indigo, wasn't it great? Wasn't it so good? And the example of high control and how it just invades. It just invades. I really enjoy it. I think it got a good Rotten Tomatoes rating. It was, I mean, I haven't, my husband and my kids have played the Fallout games on Steam, but I've only played the Fallout game on my iPad, and that doesn't explore much. It's just like a farming game. So, uh, I wasn't very familiar with the storyline, but it really made a whole lot of sense. It was just fascinating to watch. Um, Fascinating to watch the factionalism. The factionalism. It is an excellent adaptation to the big screen. Indigo, have you watched The Wheel of Time? You enjoy Stella D'Oro cookies? They're not that great and you'll eat all of them? Come on, Adam. There's got you the shortbread ones you like. Vaults versus Raiders, and then the third storyline with the High Control Group on the surface. Exactly. Exactly. The High Control Group all behind the scenes, right? That you saw in little, I mean, almost like to go back and watch it again to see what the signs were, because I'm sure they were there all along in the story. Because they always are. They always are. There's always signs. You enjoyed his Dark Materials? Okay, that's good to know. We're watching Reacher now, and that is not awful. Decidedly not awful. It's too close to Scientology for you to watch right now. I understand. Mint Milanos are high control cookies. You mean you have to have high control to have them in the house? Is that it, Adam? Indigo, it has a lot. I saw your community post. It does have, in fact, I don't know if you know this, but Blown for Good made a video in the last 2 weeks about how much it was similar to Scientology. So I found that interesting. An interesting perspective if you're into watching Blown for Good. Yes, Indigo, and it just goes on from there. It is impossible to resist. Exactly. Impossible to resist. Don't keep them in the house. Okay, so what's your favorite from scratch cookie, y'all? What's your favorite from scratch cookie? I think if I had to choose, my favorite homemade cookie would be molasses cookie. You want to watch the new season of White Lotus, but I need to wait until all the episodes are released. You hate waiting, you like to binge watch. Lori, tell me about White Lotus. I've heard about it and I haven't watched. Is it something I should watch? It's done expertly with filming and morality. I don't know that I'd want to be severed. It's an interesting concept. Yeah, it's a terrifying concept. The way they play it out, it's a terrifying concept. Oatmeal white chocolate chip with dried cranberry. Wow. Peanut butter is your favorite. You don't make from scratch cookies, Lori? Peanut butter cookies. Oh, we got peanut butter. You love to bake from scratch? Yeah, baking from scratch is nice. Don't you ever get any from scratch cookies, Lori? You enjoyed the first two seasons? Okay, okay. What's your favorite bread recipe, Indigo? What kind of bread do you like to bake? Yeah, does anybody else watch White Lotus? I'd like to hear about it if you do. And you guys, we hit First Minnesota goodbye. Where is White Lotus, Lori? I can't recall. Oh, Brian, are you still here? Brian, are you still here? As if you are, I missed something. Crave, it's a fictional hotel brand. You love cookies, you just try not to buy them. All of Ira Levin's books, movies are parables about belief in the pathologies of community. We may have talked about that last time. And I don't know what kind of cookies he liked. Ira Levin, hold on. Writing it down. I make this good banana peach bread. I love cardamom bread. My husband does sourdough, Indigo. He keeps a sourdough starter on hand. He made a couple of weekends ago some really good sourdough waffles because we needed to use the sourdough starter. They were excellent. You do banana peach because your friends have peanut allergies and nut allergies. Lovely, Indigo. You don't know what kind of cookies Ira liked, huh, Adam? That's funny. So let's look at this list of flowers if I can find it here. Give me a second. My mouse doesn't want to work. See if we can fix that. So, flowers. I'm not sure how well this is going to work when the share screen isn't the way I want it, but we will try to accommodate. Sourdough is easier on your tummy. I like multigrain. You switch between sourdough and multigrain. Nice. So there are, on this list, we've got 3 flowers. How do you think we should do this, y'all? 3 flowers. Yeah, I love a good grainy bread too. Oh, antics. That sounds so good. We're going to all be so jealous. So these, how long does it take, antics? Like 15 minutes? Those flowers, lotus flower, marigold, and jasmine. Ezekiel bread is very good. Yes, it is. So these flowers are sacred in Hinduism. They're used in offerings and associated with deities like Lakshmi and Saraswati. So that is those. We've got crossover between religions for a lot of these flowers, which is interesting. Did you really, Cricket? Lower oven temp, 20 to 30. Kristen, sweetie, I got your email. I don't have any ideas that have come to mind when I've been mulling it. I use these paint markers. If she doesn't have any paint markers, she might like some paint markers. A biblically accurate recipe. Yeah. So find out if she has markers. The other thing is I've got specifically markers. You can get specifically markers that are metallic. And you can get them in different, see if you see this one. You see how fat the tip is on that? As opposed to on this one. As opposed to this one. So you can get all kinds of different tips. There's also, I haven't tried these yet, but this is a dot marker. And so theoretically, you dip it in the paint and then you dip it on the rock for making a mandala rock. Lori, I answered your question about my background, right? Um, used to use paint pens for tagging. For tagging what, Cricket? For tagging what? Adam? Hold on a second, guys. What did you say? Found a recipe for for revelation bread in a Bible. It bore the mark of the yeast. Adam, I don't know how you do it. It won't take 45 minutes. Okay. Child number 4 is making the dinner tonight. They're making pigs in blankets, which is just a fine dinner. It is not the fanciest cooking on the planet, but that is okay. Pigs in blankets are very tasty, and it's a good dinner on occasion. Although I do have a craving now, Kristen, for that koshery. Oh, graffiti tagging. Nice, Cricket. I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you did graffiti tagging, Cricket. You should send some pictures. Oh, Cricket, that's so cool. Good, Brian. I meant to show it while you were in here. Your kiddo is participating and learning and happy? What's that, Antics? Pigs in blankets, yes. Pigs in blankets, you guys, they're going to be done long before we get to the third Minnesota goodbye. It's fun sometimes, Kristen, to put cheese in the blanket and then roll the sausage or hot dog or whatever you're using up. So you get cheesy pigs in blankets. Oh, yes, kid cooking piggies, yes. Exactly, Antics. It's all we want. It's all good in the hood there. Nothing more than that. Uh-huh. Very pleased. Without being asked. You like me is there. Cheese is a good thing. In all its forms, cheese is good. Okay, Adam, we'll quibble. But will you still eat them, is the question. If we name them something different. Child is not talking to me. Child is talking to their phone. Antic, since you haven't said anything, I'm going to assume the music is okay. It is kind of nice having it in the background. Pigs in a duvet for sure. I'm gonna have to make kushari for dinner soon, Kristen. Your pictures have got me craving it. You'll have the blanket? Oh, that's right, Adam. I knew that. You can eat the kushari though, right, honey? Pigs in a blanket and quilt. Antics, see what? Remind me. I'm not retaining well tonight. Kushari antics. So, kushari is a dish I grew up on. It is an Egyptian street food, actually. And it's lentils and rice cooked together. No, I'm not saying charcuterie. It's lentils and rice cooked together with some tomato sauce, tomato sauce with celery salt and peppers and some cayenne, just crushed tomatoes over the lentils and rice, and caramelized onions and macaroni. And I was talking about this last week or the week before. It's got to be the week before last. And told everybody all about it and how tasty it is and how wonderful a vegetarian dish it is. Tomato sauce, yeah. And Kristen made it. Yes, Adam, that you can eat. Exactly. Kristen went ahead and made it, and it really is. It's an excellent. Yeah, I know, antics. It's lentils and rice and tomatoes and onions and macaroni. The macaroni is important. Just trust me, Kristen, isn't the macaroni important? So here is the link to the recipe, antics. It's kind of like a shakshuka sauce, Adam. It would be similar to that. She doesn't, in her recipe, this is the recipe I grew up with, she doesn't include the macaroni. But y'all, just make a pound of macaroni to go along with this and serve it with the macaroni. The macaroni is important. I don't know why either. It's a texture thing. It's excellent. I highly recommend it. You've had vegan sausage with vegan puff pastry as a pig in the blanket. Interesting, Lupita. Really interesting. No, it's not shakshuka. Does that make sense now, Antics? But traditionally, it's done with macaroni. That recipe comes out of a cookbook that I grew up with called the More with Less Cookbook. And it's a really exceptional recipe for the Mennonite cookbook. Well, the nice thing about this recipe is it's vegan. It's rice and beans and crushed tomatoes and onions and macaroni. I can serve it to vegans, vegetarians, and to meat eaters, and people love it across the board. And you can make up some chicken or any kind of meat. I've done curried chicken. It's kind of like chili on macaroni. Yes, Antics. It would be, yes, that kind of texture. But with the lentils in there too. It's really good. It's really good. It is worth it. Vegan lives do matter. We don't want to eat any vegans around here. I don't think Adam's vegan, though. I think he's just vegetarian. Yep, your 90-year-old meat and potato grandpa loved it. Yeah, it's really substantial. It's a great recipe. So I highly recommend you try it, Antics. It is one of my faves. So we did Hinduism, y'all. I had some ideas of showing you guys pictures of these flowers. These two flowers, the lotus and the chrysanthemum, are important to Buddhism. You're moving towards full vegan. It's a big move, Adam. Antics. Even if have you tried supplements? I could go partially vegetarian, but I have too much liking for red meat to do much more than that. I don't have a problem with vegetarian food. I'm just an omnivore. You just watched Heretic on Max, a religious type weird horror flick. You're not a fan of movies. Of course, Antics. Of course, to which? Witches type weird horror flick. Heretic. Oh, I've heard of this movie. Is this the one with the creepy guy? And the two girls show up at his house? Two Mormon missionaries, and he traps them? Is that the one you saw, Kristen? Oh, you have absorption issues because you're celiac. That makes sense. That makes sense, Andix. Of course you tried supplements. Of course you did. What was I thinking? I apologize, dear. That's like, I'm sorry, that was a stupid question. And yes, Adam is right. The chrysanthemum is also the symbol of the Japanese monarchy, which is interesting. So the next one, can anybody guess? Let's play guessing games. Anyone want to guess what religion holds significance for Blue Lotus? Your friend enjoyed it. It was fine. I'm not into horror movies, so I can't see that I would want to do it, Kristen. Well, it was an insensitive question that I'm sure you've been asked 100 times, Antics. So I know how frustrating it can be for people to offer help and start with, have you tried supplements? No, actually. Supplementation never occurred to me. I don't know what I was thinking. I never tried supplementation before. Nobody's ever mentioned it in the tens of people I've spoken with. So let me try it. Maybe supplementation will fix it. We are evolving omnivores, not herbivores, but different strokes for different folks. I think that a lot of people do it for ethical reasons more than anything else, Nebulous. There's got to be a better way to treat livestock. Black Lotus for Magic the Gathering plans? Yeah, but it's Blue Lotus. Joseph Campbell talked about a god born from a lotus. Yes, Cricket. Joseph Campbell, I'm sure, talked about God born from a lotus. Blue Lotus is Egyptian religion. Blue Lotus is Egyptian for religion. Yeah, it's like exactly that, Adam. That's what I wanted to avoid. Have you tried melatonin? No. What's melatonin? Why would I try melatonin? I've never heard of melatonin. I've only had this problem for 10 years and talked to 100 different people, but no, I've never tried melatonin. Nev is saying our teeth are getting sharper as we evolve. Indeed. So Blue Lotus is significant for ancient Egyptian religion. It was sacred to Ra and Osiris, symbolizing rebirth and divine awakening. I wonder what Mexican marigolds look like. Let me see. I think we need to change. Oh, they're the ball-like ones. I see. We need to change this music right now. It is not gonna work for me. That's a little better. Whatever that was there for a minute was not going to work for me. It also goes back to Aztec tradition. Interesting. Melatonin is your cousin. Blue lotus everywhere, yeah. So Mexican marigold and dahlias were significant in Aztec religion. Blue lotus your asses. I can smell the pigs in blankets, y'all. I can smell them. How you doing, brain fog? What's new? How was your day? We've been talking about all manner of things. Talking about food and cooking. Narragansett Tonnan. You guys are funny. Funny, funny. I am still here. You were almost third Minnesota goodbye, brain fog. Almost. So those flowers, the rose, the violet, the lily, and the hyacinth, are not much. The redoubtable circadian. Blue lotus, nice to look at, pretty to hold, but if you take it as a narcotic, your soul gets sold. Yes. Yes. The rose, lily, and hyacinth are for Greek and Roman religions. Did you guys see the cricket? The hyacinth is pronounced bouquet. You like hyacinth, Adam? What's everybody's favorite flower? Circadian had a lot of offspring because he really didn't understand rhythm. Okay, cricket, I said it out loud. Oh my goodness with the dad jokes, y'all. It's like a contest. You have lotus in your fish tank right now? That's cool antics. Susan, sweetie. Oh, antics, I hope it blooms too. How are you doing, sweetheart? Your rosemary is blooming. It's so pretty when the rosemary blooms, Lupita. Susan knows a ton about flowers. Susan, we are talking about different flowers that have different religious significance in world religions. Your favorites are lily and sunflowers? Nice, Lori. And the question on the table, Susan, is what's your favorite flower? Dahlia. Peonies, hydrangeas, and orange pink. Oh, I love the orange pink English roses. It's one of my favorite colors, that orange pink. And dahlias, I love dahlias, except I hate earwigs. But dahlias are beautiful. I'm glad you're good, Susan. How's the job treating you? Are you still having to work as much? There's a poem called The Lotus Eaters. What's it about, Adam? Flower remedies, some very useful. Oh, your favorite is the calla lily, Susan? They're so beautiful. They're very beautiful. Hey, Orion. Oh, by Lord Tennyson. It's a long one. Here we go. Orion. No. There's a problematic podcast called The Lotus Eaters. Hi, Marina. How are you? Welcome in. Simple Violets and Lily of the Valley. Oh, I love Lily of the Valley. Dahlias are beautiful, and orchids, daffodils, wildflowers from Texas, bluebonnets and Indian paints. Nice. Yeah, flower remedies can be very useful. Bach flower remedies. That is absolutely true, Nebulous. Adam says Johnny Carson once mentioned the poinsettia on the Tonight Show and it turned into a 2-day bit. That's funny. Working about 3 days. With your health issues, it's all I can do. Well, don't do too much, Susan. I worry about you. I worry about you. The Lotus Eaters comes from Homer's Honesty. Homer's Odyssey, yeah. Tennyson's poem is epic. Been a long time since I read it. But yeah, it's a long one. St. John's wort, exactly. Nature's sunshine drug. But one has to be careful and always let your medical professional know about such things. Indeed, especially, any of the herbs. Marina, we are all doing well, except for Orion, who is having problems. Come on. He doesn't want to participate well. Big Chief, how are you doing, sweetie? It is good to see you. It is always good to see you. Nice to have you stop by. You guys are all just kind of getting, we've got St. John's wort does interact with everything. Yes, it does. Especially St. John's wort. You need to tell your providers if you're taking St. John's wort. You can't just mess with herbs and remedies and think that it's not a big deal. It's like, hey, honey, I will try to let you go, but no more barking or I'll have to come get you again. People keep thinking you're the troll, Marina. I kind of figured you weren't the troll since you have a big thing on your name that says troll as an identifier. Usually trolls don't self-identify quite so directly. Cobelf's wort has no medicinal properties. No, I'm the troll around here. I'm the troll. Right, y'all? Okay, now it's officially third Minnesota goodbye. Adam. Right, Antics? Bilf and Adam both. They're funny as heck. No, that was Orion whining. That was Orion whining. You're the troll, Antics. You're Trollicus. We're all the troll. We are all the troll. The troll in the chat. Adam and Cobilf kicked out of Sandstone for promoting Rigdon Truth. You roll, you don't troll? Exactly, Big Chief. Susan's the troll. I don't necessarily believe that. Well, he was leashed to my chair, but he'd been barking at nothing. So, Papa Cat, you can't keep winning every time. But yes, you do win, Papa Cat. Oops, wrong button. Here you go, Papa Cat. Check it out. Used to drink liters of Truzelka St. John's wort every day. But females need to consult any such things with their medical practitioner first due to its anti-contraceptive side effects. There it is, Papa Cat. You win today. Yeah, Papa Cat won. Yeah, exactly, Antics. Exactly, Antics. It doesn't count if he sets his alarm. Or if he's got brain fog in the background saying, oh, she said third Minnesota goodbye. You aren't doing that, are you, brain fog? You're not giving him little warnings, or I know, he's just not chatting until I say third Minnesota goodbye. He doesn't even need anybody to give a warning. Anybody can lurk in chat. See, and my viewer count just magically goes up at third Minnesota goodbye. It is the strangest thing, you guys. I know, Antics. I know. We'll allow it. This time he was talking to a friend and then came in? Okay. Quiz show? We've got a rigged quiz show, right, Papa Cat? Adam, Bill, you're a Whitmerite? What's a Whitmerite, Adam? Educate me. You're gonna give me such jokes, I'm gonna make you educate me. So the schedule this week, you guys. I will be on Wednesday. And I will be on Sunday. And I might even be on Saturday. Because you know what, guys? It is finals week, but I am officially done. I am officially done with my cumulative project. And I have passed. So I get an extra week of spring break, even though I gotta go to work. I was gonna take spring break off, but I just missed a whole week of work. You choose different irony-based explanations for the Book of Mormon. You guys crack me up. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. So I'm done a full week early, which means we can even do Saturday. And then I've got one more quarter. So we are in the home stretch. One more quarter. And that class is on campus from 9 to 11, 2 days a week. So that has not got me feeling great about things. 9 to 11. I mean, to be fair, later time would make things even more difficult because it'd be right in the middle of the day. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. I'm really pleased to have everything done before finals week even happens, rather than pulling this all into finals week and having to complete things at the last minute. Makes things a lot easier. And the job interview I went in, I got a call back for a second interview, and I go tomorrow for the call back on the second interview. It's Shia Christianity. That is an interesting perspective, Adam. I'd like to explore that. Yeah, I'm excited about the second interview. I am a little concerned about what kind of schedule they're going to want me to keep, but I'll work that out with them tomorrow, see what they have to say. Did you have one in mind, Antics? I don't disbelieve you, Bill. I don't disbelieve you. Yeah, Brian, I'm right with her. Go to Crickets and Grow Things. I think she's being a little facetious, Lupita. A different color tie and take an Adderall and a cup of coffee half an hour before. It's usually about 2 hours before your friends call you Maudie. Of course they do, Adam. Maudie. That's funny. Cricket invited you? Which cricket? Chow Yun Smut cricket? Don't you have a garden, Antics? You don't have any yard space for a garden? That's really a pity. We've got a huge yard, but a difficult. Malachi Z. York only pretended to be the Mahdi, but we know the truth. Indeed we do, Adam. You are the hidden Mahdi. There exists no greater power on this earth than idea whose time has come. Nebulous, true words that. True words that. Smutty cricket. Got it. Baal Shem Tov in these parts. Yeah, she might have land, but she's also got Hoth. I mean, it's land in Hoth, right? That's sweet of her to invite you, Kirk. Antics. That's really sweet of her to invite you. Bilphus Satmar, you knew it, Adam. You guys are getting all the conspiracy theories all sorted out. All the secret religions. We just have to spread the word. Evangelize. Tell the world. Tell the world about Cricket's channel. That's what we need to be evangelizing about. Hoth. Like Star Wars, Frozen Planet, Hoth. She lives in Duluth, Minnesota, which is, not very far south from the Canadian border in Minnesota, on Lake Superior. She's big on gardening. I didn't know that, Antics. You've been looking at a hydroponic system for an indoor type thing? Yeah, they've got some really cool hydroponic systems nowadays. With grow lights and everything. Is she really, Bilf? She is pretty amazing. What kind of one are you looking at, Kristen? I've seen all kinds. I've seen little ones just for growing herbs, and I've seen bigger ones for growing actual crops. So there's all kinds of. You thought Cricket and Chow were related? You'd like cherry tomatoes, kind of big stuff with lights and timers and a water system. Yeah. I've seen bigger ones that supposedly do crops. Cricket is great. It's confusing when you visit her, so you're Ron in her house. That makes sense, Cricket. That makes sense. It does feel good, doesn't it, Adam? Oh my goodness, you grow peaches and herb and it feels so good. Unbelievable, Adam. Yeah, exactly, Kristen. They're like $400 to $800 to start, and then special seeds that you have to buy that are proprietary. Exactly. Exactly. Cobill. Changing name to Cricket with three T's for maximum confusion. Isn't Cricket, aren't Cricket cousins? No, I don't think so. You planted oregano today? What has returned, Lupita? Cage match? What cage match, Antics? Did I agree to a cage match that I'm not remembering? Your basil. Love basil. Oh, that's right, because they're related. Cricket's related to everybody. Cricket's only related to the French Canadians, though. Only related to the French Canadians. What cage match are we having, Antics? When they start treating us like mushrooms, feeding us with shit and keeping us in the dark? Yes, Nebulous. Oh, you're going to have to argue with that over Cricket. Your basil is faulty, Adam? That's really sad. We're fighting for best friend positioning with Cricket. Lupita is making it happen. Lennon was a mushroom. You think you can take me? It's yours, Antics. If you want the crown, I hereby relinquish it to you. Absolutely yours to have. So yeah, you can take me. I'm easy like that. I'm a pushover. Just one mano a mano. Cricket doesn't get any say, just one mano a one mano. No, I hereby relinquish it. You can have it, Antics. Totally yours. What did he say? That the crown is yours? Oh, guys, my monitor's turned off again. Hold on. I forgot to shake my mouse. I'll be right back. Hopefully, I'll be right back. There I am. Right back. You thought Adam's basil was Cappadocian? I didn't know Adam said he had basil. Poisoner in Chief? I haven't read Poisoner in Chief yet. Let me write it back down. Okay, I wrote it down. I said, that's what he said. I'm easy and a pushover. Yes, I am easy and a pushover until I'm not. Until I'm not. The Trappist got you and then never let you go. It's Trappist Basil. It's Trappist Basil. Okay, guys, I've got pigs in blankets waiting on me. Okay, I won't confuse the two, Adam. Your secret BFM is actually Natalie. Okay. We'll keep it a secret, Cricket. No, I did not write down Womano and Womano. I think it was excellent, though. I wrote down Poisoner in Chief. And on that note, Susan's right. I can get spicy if I need to. And yeah, see you later, guys. I'm gonna go find some of those pigs in blankets and get the dog to quiet down. I will see y'all on Wednesday for Wheel. Catch y'all later. Bye-bye.